When you hear the name Quinten Post, your mind probably first goes to the three-point line. Now a 41% three-point shooter and towering over 7 feet, he has given the Warriors a sizable advantage on offense. But one of the things that stopped him from being a first-rounder instead of a second-rounder, and an early contributor to this Warriors roster earlier in the season, is his defense. But Quinten Post has gotten a lot better on defense over the season. And in today's video, we'll dive right into what Quinten Post has been doing better on defense. And if you stick around to the end, highlight some of his key plays and actions that I expect for them to incorporate in the playoffs on the defensive end, and how he might be able to help anchor this team defense with Draymond Green, Defensive Player of the Year. On this first clip right here, we have Quinten Post boxing out. What you're going to see right here is he gets this nice block onto OG Anunoby. Now, if we just look at that in its own, without considering the past that the Warriors have had, this seems like a simple play. You know, Quinten Post should always be able to do this. He should always be able to kind of block these shots. But notice here the size of the Warriors. We have Kuminga, we have Quinten Post 7'2", and then we have Gary Payton II essentially playing as the other big man in the specific clip. The fact that Quinten Post is able to block somebody who's 6'7", 6'8", and OG Anunoby is super important. And he's also able to kind of essentially dissuade Mitchell Robinson as well in this specific play because of his height. And that's the first thing I really want to highlight to you guys. His height on defense will give us a huge advantage, regardless of whether he's a great defender or not. In this next play right here, we're going to have him essentially as one of the few big men in this play. Quinten Post is operating as the true 5 here. Sometimes with Draymond Green, he operates as the 4. But here, he's operating as the 5, and he's set out to guard essentially what I would say is a shooter, a kind of shooter. But he's operating in a help position right here. And his job right here is to go out here and essentially stop the drive to the rim. And Jimmy Butler is doing a great job of essentially utilizing the no-middle scheme that the Warriors run. But right here, what you see is there's a nice lob up here. And look where Quinten Post is. If this is Draymond Green even, Jimmy Butler, this is an easy basket for the Portland Trailblazers. But by going down, stepping towards Quinten Post, he forgets the Warriors have a 7-foot big man who can block those types of shots and is a presence in the paint. So I think those two clips easily establish the presence in the paint that he is. But one of the problems James Wiseman had, even as a big 7-footer for the Warriors, was he fouled a ton. And defenders were able, he fouled a ton. And offensive players were easily able to knock him off his rocker. Just watch this clip right here. Quinten Post is going against Aaron Gordon, what I would call an NFL linebacker essentially. Probably weighs over 250 pounds, and he's running full speed towards him. But watch, Quinten Post absorbs the contact. And yeah, he moves a little bit, but he still maintains his verticality, stands up straight. And actually, because of the blow that he took, Aaron Gordon's a little bit off balance here. And he actually just has to kind of like throw the ball away because he feels like he's going to fall out of bounds. And this causes a little bit of confusion and ends up in a turnover caused by Quinten Post, which is exactly what we want to see. Quinten Post doing a great job on the defensive end, absorbing the contact and making it so that he can really show that he is a rim protector and he's not afraid to take contact. Right here, we have essentially Post in, once again, a kind of help position on number 11 for the Portland Trailblazers. But he realizes that Santos got beat off the dribble right here. And he immediately kind of notices, and I think he's pointing towards this corner shooter right here, noticing that Kuminga has come all the way over. Probably shouldn't have come all the way over, but came all the way over. So he's going to try and immediately recover to the weak side. And that's the smarts. It takes smarts to play in this Warrior system. And by doing that, he's able to grab this rebound and fly and sky it over to Santos, who ends up hitting it off of the Portland Trailblazers player, giving them an extra possession, which is super key. If he's going to operate as a 5 position in the Warriors defense, he has to communicate with everyone else on the floor. And he's done a way better job of doing that, especially recently as he's become more comfortable in the Warriors defense. Now, if you play this clip right here, we're against the Atlanta Hawks in the game that the Warriors really struggled. But essentially, Trae Young is going to hit hit number 17 in the pocket. And what you're going to see right here is he's going to go one-on-one versus Quinten Post. But Quinten Post realizes this guy is doing a poor and sorry excuse for what I'd call a Euro step and is able to block that. But I just wanted to highlight that specific play, not because of team defense, but because of his ability to do defense in a one-on-one capacity. His ability to essentially man up versus a big man and stop them from getting the rim, which he was able to do here, which is super important. And we're going to see this a lot in the playoffs if other teams try to test him. Right here, we have a Shaedon Sharpe, Donovan Clingan action. And what you're going to see here is Draymond's doing a great job of essentially trying to clog the middle, and Quinten Post's job right here is essentially to split the difference between Sharpe and make sure that Clingan doesn't get the back. And so essentially this forces them to kind of kick it out around the perimeter because they forced a closeout. And Draymond Green does a great job right here. I love when Draymond does this, kind of making sure that he doesn't have a good angle towards the basket and that Quinten Post can come and meet him and potentially do a good job. But actually, I think this is a really good pass to Clingan. But Quinten Post does a good job of, even though, look at right here, Clingan's already off the ground. Quinten Post, he's not off the ground yet, and he's just starting to jump, but he's able to meet him all the way at the top. And even Clingan notices, and he kind of pats him on the back. Hey, good job, Quinten Post. You did a great job there guarding me, getting off the ground so quickly. And if Quinten Post is able to deter rim pressure and deter people at the rim, like Donovan Clingan, who's been playing great this season, I think it really bodes well for the Warriors on defense, specifically as this season ends and into the postseason, and really bodes well for the amount of minutes he's going to play in the playoffs. Because after all, defense wins championships, and if he's able to be a rim presence, that changes the Warriors as a whole. If you guys like this content about Quinten Post, please like and subscribe, and let me know what you guys think about Quinten Post and his rise to dominance as a Warriors big.